3520 Broadway and 1500 North 12th Street. The Liquor Booth, where it's always happy hour.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Daily Muddy. It's time for Coffee Talk. Of course, with Ashley and Brittany. What's going on, Brittany?
Not much. How are you?
I am fantastic. And we just had a full-blown conversation about pedicures, which I hope that we get to do a road trip with the fellows to get a pedicure, because no one here has had one.
Well, now that you put it out there in the
We have to do it.
Yep.
Yep, signed, sealed, delivered. Okay. But that's a topic for another day. Today we're talking about something that I think has been trending more and more in the news, and that is like kind of like food safety and health and additives and how it all kind of plays a role. And I think after you brought it up, so of course then I go down rabbit hole after rabbit hole after rabbit hole, because, you know, again, some people call it conspiracy theorists, we call it realists, right?
Yeah.
Or expectation.
I mean, this is real. It's science.
Yeah.
Like everything that you put into your body is what you're putting out, and what, you know, that is the fuel that you're putting in.
Yeah.
So when it's not putting out what you think that is supposed to be putting out, then look at the fuel that you are putting in, number one. But we've become a culture that, you know, right away we turn to something's wrong with me, and we don't look directly into our diet.
Yeah.
We look into, you know, I have this or I have this.
Yep.
And it's just, that's part of our culture.
Hey, doc.
Yeah.
Right?
Instead of examining your diet first, it's, the first things first is you call your doctor.
You know why? Because, okay, I fully agree with you. Garbage in, garbage out. That doesn't just apply to information,
Yeah.
right? It's, if you're always consuming garbage, you're probably not going to feel the best. And I do know that we are also a culture of convenience.
Yeah.
So is it easier to cut my diet or call and get a prescription?
Exactly.
Right? But the thing that I learned in going down all of my rabbit holes, and I know you have some experience with this too. So one of the things I learned that, you know, the nutrition and dietary publications and, you know, the articles that tell you eat this, not that. So a long time ago, it wasn't that bad to smoke cigarettes, right? You could do that everywhere. Then it became salt was terrible. Then it was like, well, salt's not that bad. Well, one thing I learned is a lot of the big foods, right? So we talk about big pharma, big tech. A lot of the big foods, and this is fact. This has actually been found to be true, and there have been lawsuits. They were basically in a quid pro quo relationship with these dietitian experts that were publishing all these things.
If you say FDA, I was going to be like, oh.
Well, but if you think about it, so here I go a little bit deeper. The FDA controls things, right?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah.
they're not doing a great job. Let's just go ahead and say it.
No, yeah, exactly. We were in the grocery store the other day, and we were noticing, like, it's just like on those that tabloid magazines, like the front cover of the tabloid magazines is asking you to get your thyroid checked.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know that it's not just America, but it is kind of crazy that that's the front page of the tabloid.
Yeah.
Like, and that's generally the first question that everyone will ask, you know, anybody, if you're feeling funky, I guess, is, have you had your thyroid checked?
Yeah.
That's like the biggest one. And why is it that, you know, it's like that? It's not everybody's genetics.
No. Well, and I think a lot of, you know, your thyroid is hormones, but I think it's also been be known that additives in the foods affect
your diet is
right?
huge
Your hormones
into thyroid.
So then, of course, hormones affect your mental health.
Yeah.
Right? Your thyroid affects your mental health. So not only are you physically blah, but then, you know, all the anxiety medicine and the depression meds, and you kind of start to look at a big picture, and you're like, all right, well, if big food isn't being controlled by the FDA, and big pharma, who is controlled by the same FDA, they're making money off of people who are suffering with these conditions because of, or likely because of the shit that's in our food, right? Then it all becomes a little too convenient.
Yes.
Also, that these big food people and big pharma, they try their damnedest to shut down the little guy, right? And right now we've seen that happening with farmers. So it's kind of like, I had a conversation with someone. I'm sorry I'm talking so much, but this is like my wheelhouse, right?
I love it.
talking about this stuff. So I was having a conversation with someone, and I won't say his name because I don't know if he wants me to out him as also a tinfoil hatter, but he was like, and I've said it before, I think co-ops are really what at least this community, I wish this country would go back to, because then we would know where our food is coming from. And I know I don't have the skill to do that right now, but I'd love to learn. Because I think when you're walking through a grocery store and you have the choice between small community-owned brands versus big conglomerates that have no regulation and are actually in bed with people who are telling you what's healthy and bad for you, it just seems like, all right, somebody should be a watchdog for us. But if that person, FDA, is not, we should be able to do that for ourselves.
It would be nice too to have I don't think they really have those sections in the grocery, to have those sections in the grocery store.
Yeah.
I know there's a health market section in places, but like you just said, it's controlled by, so who knows, but to have that local section just all right there. So if you wanted the option to pay just a little bit more
for locally grown.
Yeah. In the groceries.
Do they have that? That's a phenomenal idea.
It would be awesome if they did.
Listen, Neiman's
or Hy-Vee.
Phenomenal, right? Yeah.
I know that there's probably contracts and stuff like that, but I mean, get it done.
Yeah. Well, and now, unfortunately, these big conglomerate, the big foods, they own a bunch of smaller names, but you just don't tie them together because it doesn't seem like it would be a likely relationship, like P&G and Nestle, and they own the smaller brands. One thing that I've always said, and I know that this kind of goes against a lot of people's political whatever, but I think that if we had universal health care, it would really force the FDA, these big foods and big pharma, to take a step back and be like, well, we got to fix something. Because
it's the root cause.
It's the root cause, right? And now you don't have people paying out of pocket. You don't have insurance companies that are, getting kickbacks. You don't have these big companies that are getting kickbacks. So then I think we would be forced to re-examine our entire nutrition system.
Yeah.
And then I think that's the only way you can stop some of this pharmaceutical stuff.
It would change a lot of things.
Yeah.
I
know there's repercussions that I probably am not thinking of, but I think that is one cog that would help trickle down a lot of this other stuff.
What changed a lot of things in my diet is age. I think that's for a lot of people too.
Yeah.
Because as you get older, it gets harder.
Yeah.
There were also, I don't know, it's I don't want to say culture, but so growing up in the 80s and 90s, we ate these things and we didn't know all that Pop-Tarts caused whatever. Or I don't want to be sued by Pop-Tarts because I really like Pop-Tarts. It's kind of the whole reason why I would
Frosty
go to
pastries or whatever the hell they're called.
Would go to the Kohl's food show. I'm like, are we getting Pop-Tarts? Because that's what I'm here for. So I love Pop-Tarts. But I know that, the preservatives and the things in them aren't the greatest for you. In fact, they're not good for you. But it's still a nice little treat every now and again. On the weekends, we always do cheat meals, and then cheat meals turn into a giant cheat weekend.
Yeah, that's what I too.
But it ends up being the food from my childhood.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not saying I'm not saying my parents fed me poorly. It's just they didn't know, and no one knew at the time, this is what you ate. So that's still a part of my childhood, and it's nostalgia, and I still like to have those goodies every now and again. And Pop-Tarts are one of them. I don't know. What's your childhood go-to that you wouldn't go for now because I guess it's not so great for you?
Really? Okay, so here's
cereal.
One, the pudding pops that were pushed by Bill Cosby.
I love
Those
Jell-O
were my
pudding.
freaking favorite.
I know.
Okay?
I love Jell-O pudding.
Of course, now I don't think you can get them, but I don't know that I would buy them.
You can still get Jell-O pudding.
Okay. Well, but it's different.
But not the pudding.
It's different. Those babies had some kind of something addictive in those things. But
they didn't melt.
No, they were so creamy, but they didn't. They were so good. Anyway, and then anything with red food coloring, because
that's the one I look for. It's red dye 40, the yellow dye number 5 or whatever. Those are the two I look for because I do think, I check on my thyroid health and stuff like that, but it's based on, again, diet, what I'm putting in my body. So I don't try to consume too much of it, but on the weekends it's crazy.
Yeah, me too. Well, and I don't ever want to be like, go completely cut this out, because I think a lot of it is really hard for people to do, especially people who are getting assistance, which I think is another theory that I have.
Yeah.
You know, the more you push these things on people who don't really have a choice, the more they have to pay, the more control that you have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I'm saying in moderation, it's probably okay. But I think more than that, we're always talking about transparency, right? I want to know what brands are owned by whom. I want to know how these companies are connected. I want to know what ingredients are in what studies are being done. And I don't know how you can do that without getting so overwhelmed. But I think the information should be there and really easily accessible. And maybe before your doctor prescribes you with some kind of something that causes blindness and leaky beehole, that they should say, hey, before you do that, go out and look at these studies done and see if anything, you can naturally change.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Go naturally. One other thing I've noticed lately, since with age, so.
Oh God, did I bring up something with the?
Yeah, the leaky beehole.
Okay, all right. That's Olean, by the way. That was fully put on every product, and people still bought it.
On what?
Olean was the additive that was causing that issue that I was just talking about.
That was in some chips and stuff.
Yeah, and it was plainly put on the packaging, and people still bought it.
Well, it was probably me.
I'm glutton for punishment, man. Anyway,
I've noticed. So there's lots of ads going through for like colon broom or bloom or whatever, but it's a lot of like things for. It's kind of like under the beauty side of advertisement that people are doing. It's like
Ozempic.
Yeah, well, I guess. Yeah, but like clean yourself out and this and this. So I looked into this because I was like, hey, I'm going to get myself a colon broom. And that is the same. It has the same ingredients as Metamucil. So I want to be plugged or sponsored by Metamucil.
There you go.
Because it's like, and that.
Shameless plug. No pun intended.
That powder that was meant for, you used it for constipation. Older people used it. It was... it's the same thing that they're selling younger generations, just in a different form. Yeah. So I don't know.
It's to clean out your system, which can also be very dangerous. So
you're supposed to use it cautiously. Yep. Yeah, I've been using it a little bit, and Mike handed it to me the other day. And it's just nasty. He's like, pretend it's a lunchbox. And so we're chugging it. Yeah, well, I'm chugging Metamucil now. And
Well, that just goes to show you our age is coming into play. Hey, I wanted to tell you one thing, because I know you had a conversation with someone near and dear to you about pharmaceuticals and how they're not pushed by physicians based on commission. That is true. They are not. However, they can get incentivized by other forms of. Okay, so I just wanted to go ahead and.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Solidify
that for you. And also, it's like the more you know, right? If you know what you're eating and you're eating things that power your body as fuel, right? Mm-hmm. Make sure that, and it's probably doing the same thing for your mental health.
Yeah.
Right? So.
Don't just eat it because it's convenient and good. Eat it as fuel or
And if
whatever.
you do that, only do it in moderation.
Yeah.
I'm one to talk as we travel around and
I know.
eat all kinds of good stuff.
I was just thinking that to myself.
Here's
I'm like,
the thing. The more you know, and you still have a choice. So if you choose to do it, you pay the piper.
Yes.
Right?
And then you have to chug your Metamucil.
That's right. And full circle. So yeah, you make the choices, you deal with the consequences, whatever that may be. Yeah. But I always love talking about this stuff. I feel like we could talk for hours.
I know. But now I went to a Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
It's not the weekend.
So a Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
No. Just go get some strawberries or something from your local co-op, which there are a few in town. So check those out. Do some research. Farmers markets. I love the idea of the grocery store.
Yeah.
Locally grown and sourced. That's awesome.
What else is good for you is black coffee in moderation.
Yes. Cheers.
Cheers.
And thank you, EFB, for sponsoring.
Oh, Coffee Talk.
Coming up next, Bob Goff sits down with Scott Edlin to talk about Gym City Concert Series. Stay tuned.
Kelly's has been a fun place to eat and drink in Quincy since 1982. A fun and friendly atmosphere, food with flavor, homemade cinnamon rolls, and famous cheese soup, the best menu in town. Kelly's, 2902 Broadway, Quincy.
Welcome to the Abbey, a Quincy tradition. With 6 big screens, a new larger kitchen, and now more seating capacity, the Abbey is the place to be, before, during, and after the big game. Come enjoy fan favorite appetizers, steaks, burgers, and a variety of daily food and drink specials. Can't join us? Carryout is available too. Now with a convenient drive-up window to better serve you. 1736 Spring in Quincy. Opens at 3 p.m.
The
Tuesday through
Tower,
Sunday.
a great place to
Come
meet
join all
Andy.
your friends
But did
at
you
the
know
Inn,
the Tower has one
Quincy
of the
tradition.
finest drink selections in our area? Along with its incredible Mexican menu, the Tower specializes in tequilas for every taste. Names like Patron, Cabo Wabo, and Hornitos. And don't forget the margaritas. On Mondays and Tuesdays, stop by and pick up a single topping pizza and get Tower margaritas to go. Enjoy the Tower at home or in our...
Instant Replay is your local sports bar. With 18 big screen TVs, we have all the sports packages from college games to pro games. We offer daily drink specials, and come check out the Bullpen, our newly renovated beer garden. Instant Replay, 2739 Chestnut in Quincy.
Are you looking for the perfect venue for your next special event? Check out Utopia Event Center.
Utopia has a large banquet room and an awesome bar area, perfect for anything from birthday parties to formal corporate meetings. It also offers a photo booth, stage for a DJ or a live band, and a fully stocked bar, all for only $300. Check us out at utopiaeventcenter.com or call Barn at 217-430-6559 for more information. Utopia Event Center, 900 North 12th Street in Quincy.
Thanks, Ashley. Scott Edlin from On the Rails here, but he's here to talk about concerts, the Gem City Concert Series, the country version coming up May 25th, 26th. Welcome.
Good morning.
And tell you what, you got a brand new venue.
Yes, we do. It's you go from 2-acre lot to 12-acre lot. It's a lot.
Going to be down in Lincoln Park, down by the Park District office on Bonansinga Drive. And, again, it's May 25th and 26th. And the country show coming up. Talk about the talent.
May 25th, Kelsey Hart, up-and-coming artist, doing some big things. Restless Road. They're in the running for MCA award here.
Nice.
May 16th, I think. Really good. And then the headliner is Priscilla Block. She's got a new song out with Justin Moore, couple other hits, so some really good. All three of these artists will be at the CMA.
That's great.
The June Fest.
That's great. That's gonna be a lot of fun. I tell you what though, your event though, and you doing this, it's fantastic. And again, talking about moving it down to the riverfront. I think that's a winner. I know some people are talking about parking, but you got that handled, right?
There will be parking close to the event. There's a parking ticket online, but we'll have it set up that when people do show up, they'll be able to park closer to the main gate as well.
Good.
I'm thinking maybe 150, 200 parking spots.
Well, again, nice little walk. Never heard anybody down by the riverfront. They got walking paths there and everything. And heck, what you might even do is just head over there the night before to Quinsippy Island, pitch you a tent, and be good to go.
There you go. If it doesn't rain.
and yeah, no kidding. But I think that's going to be a kind of a cool event. If I'm not suggesting you skip out and get a ticket because you ought to get your tickets. But heck, if you got a boat there in the bay, if there should be enough water in the bay now with all the rain we got.
I had several people reach out. Can we see it from the water? It's up. There's
you can hear it.
You can hear it. You can definitely hear it, but you won't be able to see it.
No way. It's a much higher elevation there because that's the part that when you get the flooding down there, that part's always the part that stays dry. It's kind of part of the reason the Park District put their office there. So
when we first announced, several people reached out and said, "You're bringing Lincoln Park to Quincy?" No, it's at Lincoln Park.
All right, and the 26th, who we got coming in?
Drew Baldridge. He's done some big things. He's on the radio now with his new song. He's married to a girl from Nauvoo.
Really?
And her parents own the Nauvoo Hotel and Restaurant.
Oh, that's a great place.
And then Lone Star is bringing Kelsey Hart.
Kelsey Hart was the day before.
Yeah. Good morning.
I didn't get enough coffee in him yet.
Easton Corbin.
Yeah.
Easton Corbin. So we have two 90s country coming. Tracy Lawrence was a big one last year.
Yeah.
So we brought back, some 90s country.
Yeah, Lone Stars, they're an outstanding group, and I know that that 80s, 90s country is really a sweet spot for folks around here.
Yes.
I mean, a lot of good talent there, and then a lot of songs we all kind of in our adolescence or whatever heard. I was past grown up in the '90s, but sort of. And but I think that let's talk about the important thing. The beer will be cold.
The beer will be cold this year. We will have food trucks.
Nice.
We will have a station where we sell non-alcohol drinks.
Good.
Some Lotus drinks and different kind of drinks. So kind of a variety.
GemCityConcerts.com to get your tickets, right?
Yes. We came up with a package. The vets, you buy one, get one.
Nice.
General admission. That's an online ticket. And then we even did something for the folks of Quincy or surrounding area. You buy one ticket, you get one. So
that's great.
That's till May 10th.
And those are, again, GemCityConcerts.com. That link is directly below this interview if you're watching on the page, or go to our Muddy River TV page. We have the link there all put in, and we'll have the link also on our Facebook page. And, of course, I know this morning before you came on, I was just checking over the information. We went ahead and shared that on our Facebook page. But, no, I think that's going to be a really good show. And then as soon as you get this one off and running and it's going to be good and successful, then you're going to wrap up and hit us again in June.
3 weeks later. The
Rock Show.
It's going to be big.
Yeah.
June 21st, 22nd.
Yeah. Buck Cherry, the headliner, right?
Buck Cherry is the 22nd.
Yeah.
The headliner, the 21st, is Seven Dust.
Yeah. So I think that's, last year's shows were the last few shows you've had have been outstanding and had great talent in. And again, I think like you had kind of mentioned earlier that trying to just get through some hoops and stuff. But I really think this is a positive move and a development for you, because that's a wide open space down there. It's a beautiful setting. Down there, going to get a little breeze off the river. I think, and more importantly, bring your lawn chairs, right?
Bring your lawn chairs. We will have more room for lawn chairs.
Yeah.
I'll miss the downtown.
Yeah.
But, it's last year's really crowded with lawn chairs. So, spread some people out, get them moving around.
Yeah, no, I think, again, I just think this is outstanding, and you guys have really done a great job of building this thing up. And, again, I want to thank you for everything you're doing to try to bring a little something to do around here. And there's good, fun stuff to do, but you're really working your butt off to get this done.
It's been a lot.
Yeah, well, I mean, I do appreciate it. If and I think more people, I'll just tell you that hey, this is a great thing you're doing. And again, I just think that the talent lineup sounds great. Lone Star, I mean, that's one I know I'm definitely going to be at for sure, because that's a group that I'm like, oh, great. It's like when the fair said they were going to have Sawyer Brown. I'm like, Sawyer Brown, wow. So, but yeah, bands like that, I mean, I think that's really kind of a cool thing. And, you've done this a couple of years, the country rock vibe. What's your gut when you put these shows on? Are you getting which one tends to kind of do better, or do you get more out of, or?
I'm thinking that Quincy's more of a rock town.
Yeah.
We announced the rock and it just took off. The country, people kind of wait till last minute.
Sure.
I know it's Memorial Day weekend, but it's kind of slower.
Yeah.
But people wait till see what the weather's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of factors in there.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, I think it sounds like a great way to spend Memorial Day weekend. And again, GemCityConcerts.com is where you get your tickets. The link's below. We're gonna be helping Scott push the event. We'll share his Facebook stuff. You'll see all that, and then of course we'll have stuff. We have a banner on Muddy River, and we'll keep talking about it as the weekend heads up. And I think Ashley and Brittany and I might do something fun leading up to there, heading down to the park. So.
Why aren't they here this morning?
Come on. Well, it's like if they have to get up and they put their eyes on and their hair and their face and all that, me and you, we just show up.
Right.
I throw a hat
That's
on.
Right.
You're here. We're good to go.
That's
so,
right.
All right. Scott Edlin, I appreciate it, man.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you.
Ashley, back to you.
Thanks, Bob. We'll catch you here tomorrow.